Hey everyone, I'm G-Man. That there is T-Money, and welcome to the January 25th Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. We are down to the final four of the 2021 NFL playoffs. What do we know now? The 49ers have upset America's team in Dallas and have upset the Packers in Lambeau. The Rams, get them next. Matthew Stafford pulled the upset, sent Tom Brady home. And the Chiefs are back, knocking off Buffalo once again, and are now aiming for the third straight AFC title. But could that dream be derailed by the potentially hottest team in the playoffs, the Cincinnati Bengals, who are only 2 wins away from the first franchise Super Bowl win? It all goes down this Sunday in a doubleheader, y'all. T-Money, what are you most excited about this week?
Oh, man. Obviously, my Bengals, what a win versus the Titans. Just an exhilarating game to watch. So pumped. And then, hey, I get to go watch the Rams play the Niners at new SoFi Stadium down in LA. So I cannot wait, man. I am so pumped. Pumped right now.
I should have put my SoFi backdrop up for you just so you
gotta
get used to where your seats will be and everything, man. But instead, I go with this one instead. You see who I got here, man, some San Francisco 49ers. We're going to be talking about them.
All right.
Hey, y'all, do us a favor and press a like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. I'm G-Man, and I got T-Money here with me, bringing you energy with the January 25th edition of the Ross Rundown. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast, and brought to you by our friends at Woundwise IQ. Hey, T-Money, we have to start with that Bills-Chiefs game, man. Legendary. Was that the best game of the year, bro?
Oh, my gosh. It's definitely got to be. It was just an unbelievable game. So much fun to watch. Back and forth. I mean, 13 seconds left. That's too much time for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
Whoever thought of this stuff?
That's insane. I mean, just back and forth, multiple lead changes. I think 4 lead changes in the last 2 minutes. Overtime was awesome. Drove right down the field. I mean, it was just an unbelievable game. I mean, wow. I mean, The Bills lose with Josh Allen, putting up no turnovers, and I believe 36-42, just unbelievable. Mahomes throws for 378. Allen throws for 329. They both rush for over 50 yards. Just what an epic game. That could have gone on forever. Disappointed in those overtime rules.
Yeah. I'm okay with the overtime rules, but the game was so awesome, man. So exhilarating. Could not believe it. I've never seen anything like it. But I told you I thought the Chiefs would beat the Bills, but Allen would play well, and he did play well.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in 2 playoff games, and he's out of the playoffs because he ran up against the best quarterback out there right now, Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, man, that was just an epic game. Patrick Mahomes telling everyone, hey, I had a little slump. Stop anointing all these guys. I'm the guy. This division is mine. I'm the new Tom Brady. Fine. Josh Allen can be Peyton Manning, but I'm Tom Brady here. Okay. I'm going to run this thing. Everything goes through Kansas City. So it was just an awesome, awesome game.
Yeah. It was unreal.
So, I mean, we got to transition though to the next game that the Chiefs play now. They play the Bengals. The hot Bengals and the babyface killer Joey B, my guy. What an epic game. Evan McPherson quoted by Joe Burrow saying, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship, as he's walking onto the field to kick the winning field goal. Just 2 swagger oozing guys. Love those 2. But can the Bengals take down the Chiefs? That's the real question, G.
I love the length of your question.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself.
I gotta call you out every week because it's fun. But no, I like your questions. I told you last week when you asked me about the Bengals, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, man, have such a connection. How can you go against these guys? They're young and explosive.
I know.
Man, these guys are unbelievable. And let me just say this as we talk about that first segment about Mahomes and Allen and their rivalry. What about Joe Burrow, man? Burrow's 25. Josh Allen's 25, soon to be 26. Mahomes is 26. Burrow's coming into the party. Don't be counting him out. Everybody's like, oh, it's Mahomes versus Allen for the rest of time. Hey, man, Joe Burrow, it's going down.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir. I'll take Joe Burrow over Josh Allen any day of the week. That guy's calm, cool, collected. There's no roller coaster like there is with Allen. So you're preaching to the choir. Now, Mahomes has been to 2 Super Bowls, so can't argue with you there.
Allen certainly played well, but just ran into a buzzsaw, man. Sunday at 3 p.m., Chiefs versus Cincinnati. Chiefs -7. Over-unders up at 55. We'll see what happens, man. Let's move over and talk about the number 1 seed in that AFC who got left home. They're not there anymore. What do the Titans do with Tannehill now?
I think they got to stick with him. I mean, he did get you the 1 seed. He didn't get crushed. That last interception was a tip off of the guy's hands. You know, it wasn't really his fault, but it was. I mean, the first play of the game was a pick. I can't say anything. You know, he didn't play great. But at the same time, what's your other option? That's what I like to think. Like, they're going to be, the 25th pick? That's not a great spot to be in a weak quarterback class already. And then what are the free agents out there? None of them are probably better than Ryan Tannehill. So I think they're sticking with him here. That's really it. It's not a sexy pick, but I like Tannehill better than I like Jimmy G. Let's just start with that.
Now, the second year in a row, they were upset in the first playoff game on their home field. So Tannehill's now 2-2 in the postseason for Tennessee. The run has carried the Titans, and their defense has been pretty good. It's really the running game has carried them. Tannehill's always been kind of okay, a little bit above okay. And they've always been able to win like that, but not in the playoffs.
I mean, hey, he came back and got them tied with minutes left in the game. So, I mean, he did throw a pass to A.J. Brown to get him in the game. I do think the play calling was a little weird that they didn't feed Henry early on as much as I thought they would. So, I just think it was an unfortunate game for the Titans. They definitely could have won this. That was an unlucky swing, and I think Tannehill's not horrible.
Tannehill's better than a lot of guys in the league, but he's not going to be the future. So bringing someone in off the draft, Tannehill's 34. So, bring a guy in off the draft, get him in there with Tannehill. Yeah. And maybe in a couple of years, that guy can, start to take over.
I agree. A guy like Desmond Ridder, that'd be a nice little pickup for them. He'd sit him for a few years. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens and what they do with Tannehill. I think he's there next year, but who knows moving forward after that season. So, yeah. But let's move to, man, just every game was great. Every single game was great. So I'm going to move now to the Rams-Bucks game. Tom Brady loses in wild fashion after being down, I believe 27-3, or, it just comes storming back 27-27. And now I got to ask you, after a close win by the Rams, did the Rams win it or did the Bucks lose it?
The Rams won the game, man. Come on, Rams. I love you, Rams. They jumped out into the lead. They knew the Bucks would fight back. You saw the interview probably this week with Von Miller, one of the few guys that's been to the Super Bowl on that team, saying, hey, we all knew Brady was coming back. We just didn't know how far we could get into the lead before he started coming back. And they got their lead. Here comes Brady. They could have panicked. Had they been down, it would have really been cool to see. If the Rams would have fell behind, that would have been good to see if they could take that pressure, because that would have really been pressure. They never really lost that lead. And how about those big plays at the end by my duo, Stafford to Cup? 2 big plays, man, to bring it home. You got to respect that.
No, I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but I disagree. The Rams did win it in the first half, but the Bucks blew it. I actually think the Bucks blew it. In the last 9 possessions before the game-winning field goal, the Rams punted 3 times, fumbled 4 times, missed a field goal. They did have a touchdown, but that's 8 out of 9 drives, they punted, fumbled. 4 times they fumbled and missed a field goal. You could have easily capitalized on all of those, and you did not. So, and especially at the end, what blown coverage. They could have gone to overtime easily in that game. How do you let the best player on the Rams get that wide open down the middle of the field on a play that all you know they're going to do is throw the ball deep?
How about the play before when Kupp made a jab step to the inside and juked the guy so bad they're playing double coverage zone and the guy still falls down?
I know.
Kupp making moves out there.
So
they cannot guard him.
I just think, unfortunately, the Bucs had a chance to win this. The Rams were giving this game away, giving it away.
They did. But
and so I actually think the Bucs lost this one because of how horrible the Rams played on their last 9 possessions before that game.
I agree with their points, but I like the way the Rams came back and nailed it at the end, made those big plays, and kicked that field goal. Matt Gay, the ex-Buck, coming up to beat his old team. Hey, let's talk about the Rams on the next step, though. What do you think about the 49ers? We're up against the Rams now at SoFi, where you're going, man. Do you trust the 49ers? These guys right here behind me, are they going to be able to stop the Rams?
I mean, we keep doubting these guys, and I keep doubting Jimmy G. I mean, he won a playoff game not scoring a touchdown. The offense, not Jimmy G, the offense did not score a touchdown. And you're going to tell me they're going to go play the freaking Rams in the conference championship and win this game after barely getting into the playoffs? Like, it's shocking to me, but they already beat the Rams twice this year.
Yes.
But they are not going to be able to do this. I don't trust them. You know how hard it is to beat someone 2 times in a year, let alone 3 times? That's not an incompetent team. The Rams are not a joke of a team. And the first game was a shellacking by the Niners. Second game, Niners only won by 3. So now I think the Rams are on a roll, and I do not trust Jimmy G in a clutch spot to win this game for the Niners. I think the Rams are potentially going to run away with this thing.
The Rams have the potential to, but you saw them kind of give it away there against Tampa.
I know.
And they have these up and down streaks.
I'm going to kill
they have
myself.
The skills. They have the skills, but they go and they just don't have that killer instinct yet. I think they're just haven't gelled. Like to put their foot on someone's neck and close it out. They don't seem to have that killer instinct.
No, they don't. It's going to be such an interesting game. Battle for California, battle to go to the Super Bowl. Jimmy G trying to silence the haters. Matthew Stafford trying to silence the haters. I mean, both in different ways, but my gosh, this is just going to be, it's such an interesting game because
Jimmy G goes on to win the Super Bowl. Don't even talk about Trey Lance. Jimmy G is the starter next year.
I agree with you there. But he'll probably throw 3 picks and somehow they still win. So that's gonna happen. So let me ask you this though. Like, we saw the Niners play the favored Packers, who were the number 1 seed. We thought finally Aaron Rodgers making it to the Super Bowl this year, getting over the hump of beating the Niners, but no, they can't do anything versus these Niners. What the heck happened to the Packers? What the heck happened?
Well, we're going to know what happened if the 49ers go on and win the Super Bowl. It's going to explain everything. That team is just tough. Nobody can play them. That's going to be the story. If the 49ers can win it all, they will have proved why they beat all these teams.
Yeah.
The Packers, 2 years in a row, they were the number 1 seed. They go back-to-back in the NFC championship game. They had a great season. What happens to them? Is it the 49ers? Could the 49ers be the reason that these teams – did the weather help the 49ers in the second half? Because Aaron Rodgers did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
In the second half. Was it the weather or was it the 49ers?
I mean, I think it was the Niners. I think Aaron Rodgers just not performing. The Packers – don't let that team score an offensive touchdown and Aaron Rodgers can't convert. I mean, I have no clue. It's just so wild right now. I'm dumbfounded that the Packers let this happen. The defense seemed to show up. This might be just special teams coaches probably fired for the Packers here. So blocked punt, 10 guys on the field for the game-winning field goal. A lot of these special teams things here coming back to bite the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers did not play well down the stretch. He just did not bring it. Like, you need your quarterback to do it.
Yeah.
And the 49ers move on, and now they're getting 3.5 points against the Rams. They're dogs again, man. Here we go. Hey, let's move on to the last topic here. Let's talk about the Saints. Just got announced today. By the way, we're recording on Tuesday night, so keep that in mind when you're listening to our podcast. Hey, what do you think, T-Money? We got the Saints not only without Drew Brees now, but now Sean Peyton has left the club. What do you think? What's next for the Saints?
Hey, breaking news here on Father, Son, Holy Sport. Sean Peyton retiring.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's stepping down. Sounds like he's going to have a slew of offers to be on TV. So it's going to be interesting to see what direction they head. They're $70 million over the cap right now. Now, I've read some Saints blogs, some Saints articles. A lot of this can be restructured. And, they have a lot of guys that they can put on extensions with Lattimore and Davenport, Michael Thomas, their left guard, their right guard. There's a ton of guys. It seems like the cap situation is actually okay. But and Taysom Hill's still there. Jameis could be franchise tagged potentially. I have no clue what direction they're going to head here. But I think they're a smart organization. They draft pretty well. They're not as in dire situation as a lot of these other teams. I mean, what were they, 5-2 with Jameis, to start the season? Yeah. So I don't see it as horrible as some of these others, like the Giants and, the Jags and the Vikings. Like, those ones seem like you're really digging out of some holes here. I don't mind where the Saints are right now.
Yeah. The Saints used to be the laughing stock of the NFL. They were at the bottom. And it was Sean Payton and Drew Brees that brought that organization back, brought respectability to the city. And they love the city, and the city loves both of them. And they're going to go down as quite a combination. Drew Brees and Sean Payton together. I know there's been a lot of combination of coaches and players over the years, but they are in there, man. They're one of the best combination. What they did for New Orleans, the winning tradition you're talking about, built by those guys, man. Really respectful.
I know.
Hey, we hope you're loving the new Ross Rundown, a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a guest on the Ross Rundown, reach out to us. This show is sponsored by Woundwise IQ. Woundwise IQ is a patented mobile analytics software app that automatically measures and analyzes chronic and surgical wounds. It's used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic wounds to document healing progress. Just download the app from the App Store. You're ready to go. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. Hey, if you love the show like we love you, press the like and subscribe and look for our shows and segment clips where you play your podcast. Look for at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Or, hey, check out our new website, FatherSonAndHolySport.com. You can watch the shows and buy the merchandise. Have some fun, man. T-Money, have fun yourself. Going to the game down in LA, down in SoFi. Have fun, man.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Go Bengals. All right. Excited for this next new segment here. Not a new one, but new faces.
Hey, I'm G-Man. I got T-Money here with me, bringing you energy with the January 25th edition of the Chug and Chant. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. Hey, y'all do us a favor, press the like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. Okay, T-Money. Hey, T-Money's giving up his seat up there on the rooftops on the Chug and Chant.
I know.
We're going up, high up to the San Francisco rooftops again, but not for T-Money this time. It's time for Cousin Randy's Chug and Chant.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to this week's Chug and Chant. I'm your cousin Randy out here on the beautiful San Francisco rooftop. Welcome to California. I'm going to get this beer done here, and then I'm going to get into the chant. It's refreshing, baby. All right. We're getting into it, Arod. Aaron Rodgers are coming for you. You lost me a bunch of money this weekend. Randy was betting his trailer on this thing, man. You don't even know. Oh, man, you let everyone down. You had such hype going into it. No, this isn't on the Packers. They kept the Niners to no offensive touchdowns. This is on you, Rodgers. You couldn't even get 14 points to win a playoff game. You should have been able to win this easy. You only target Devontae and Aaron Jones basically the whole game. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is on you. You're the guy that tells everyone RELAX, relax. I'm too cool for school. No, this is on you, Aaron Rodgers. You got to own this. No more on the coach, no more on the GM, no more on the roster. That one's on you. You better own this, man. You lost everyone some money. You lost everyone confidence. You're dropping in those all-time rankings, baby. Patrick Mahomes already been to more Super Bowls than you already. What are you doing, Aaron? Come on, man. You got to do better. I expect more from you. Who's going to want you after that performance? I'm not sure. Packers might just let you go. I would. You aren't clutch anymore. That's the new narrative. That's the new narrative. Randy said it here first. Aaron Rodgers, not clutch. G-Man, what do you think?
And cousin Randy, wow, lost some cash. And Aaron Rodgers, not clutch. I agree with you, cousin Randy. I agree with you, man. What do you think, T-Money?
Hey, that's a great guy. Randy Ross up there, cousin Rand. Man, I totally agree with him, though. Whew. Aaron Rodgers totally blew that. Totally blew that. He mentioned everything. I mean, he's a smart guy, that cousin Rand, man. I totally agree. This is all on Rodgers' shoulders. Everything is on Rodgers' shoulders.
Hey, when they needed a quarterback most in the second half of the playoff game, he was not there, man. They had 58 yards of offense in the second half. And on the Packers' last two drives, Rodgers was 1 of 4 for 4 yards, and he took a sack. Just not doing it, man. I agree with Randy. Cousin Randy doing it up there with the chug, man. I think he actually chugged a little bit faster than T-Money.
He might be, man. I mean, shoot, he's got a lot more practice on him. That guy's a little older than me, so I get it. But hey, he's totally right. Aaron Rodgers got to do better. I think he said he only targeted Jones and Devontae. I think of his 12 completions, or his 20 completions, 16 of them were to those two. He wasn't spreading the ball around. There was wide open guys. He could have made plays, and he just chose to look for those security blankets. And the defense did their part. This one falls on Aaron Rodgers. He's sliding down that Mount Rushmore. Watch out. He's sliding down that ranking. You got to be clutch in the postseason. He's just not anymore.
He's only 5-4 in playoff games at Green Bay, and he's 11-10 in postseason all time. That's the lowest winning percentage among NFL quarterbacks with at least 11 playoff wins. So you're right, man. Not bringing it in the playoffs. This was a high-stakes season for Rodgers, coming off back-to-back NFC titles. He did deliver in the regular season. He might get the MVP, which I think is kind of odd because you got to count the playoffs, but he had a great regular season, but that whole soap opera that we had up in Green Bay, I think it's all over, man. And we're going to see what's going to happen in this NFC division now with the Vikings and the Bears now bringing on new coaches. And if Bears not there, and if Devontae goes, that division's wide open.
Yeah, that division could become very, very bad real quickly if Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams leave. Ton of free agents heading in next year. They're 30-something over the cap. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do if they keep Rodgers. Back-to-back years probably winning the MVP, and back-to-back years with disappointing losses to the Niners in the playoffs with unclutch performances. This looks like a blemish on Aaron Rodgers' resume moving forward.
Hey, we hope you love the Chug and Chant this week with cousin Randy up there doing as a special segment brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And T-Money called it last week. If you were listening last week, he said the Bills would go home with a broken heart, and he was right. And if you're listening to being a sponsor of the Chug and Chant, or guest chugger up there with Randy on the rooftop, let us know if you love the show. press the like and subscribe for us. You can find all of our shows and segments where you play your podcasts at Father, Son, and Holy Sport, or check out our new website. Find the show info, buy merchandise, Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money. Enjoy the NFL doubleheader this weekend.
All right. We'll see you later, G. Peace. Oh, man. Great having Cousin Randy here. Love having him part of the show. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah. He was great. Hey, I'm G-Man. I got T-Money here with me, bringing you energy with the January 25th edition of the Big Bets Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast, and brought to you by our friends at Help Me Startup. T-Money, you got your picks all ready to go for this week, bro?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm sick of not getting these locks right, but my dog locks are coming through.
Yes, they are. Hey, let's go to our picks of the week. G-Man goes 3 for 3 last week on his picks. Is now 64% accuracy this year. The Pick Six podcast on CBS Sports, only 53%.
I love calling them out, baby.
Hey, y'all, do us a favor and press that like and subscribe if you like those kind of results, so we can win you some cash like we did T-Money last week. Hey, we appreciate your support. If you're interested in being a guest on our Big Bet segment and challenging the G-Man and T-Money with your picks, reach out to us. We're going to start off with our lock pick of the week, our best pick of the week. T-Money, who do you like?
Oh, man. Packers let me down last week. I knew I should have gone KC. I bet KC on everything, but not this podcast. But this one I got. I'm going the over in the Niners-Rams game here.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
46.5. 49ers have averaged 29 points in the 2 games they played versus the Niners this year. So you're already to 30. You know, you don't think that the Rams can get 17 points here, 16 points? Because I do. The Rams are hot.
You would think so.
I'll take the Rams to actually get to 30 and maybe winning this game too. If you want to throw that in there just a little bit, I like the Rams, but I'm just going over here and at the Rams-Niners game.
Okay. All right, man. I like that. You're stepping out there on the over, the gutsy call, but
come on.
It depends on who you think's going to win. If you think the Rams are going to win, it's going over. You think 49ers are going to go win, it might come under. But, man, I like it. I'm going to pick a winner-loser of the game. I'm going to Cincinnati, Kansas City game. January 2nd, Kansas City loses to Cincinnati after being up 28-17 at halftime. Kansas City only scores 3 points in the second half. Can you imagine that after that Buffalo game? Jamar Chase had 266 receiving yards in that game. He had more yards than Mahomes had passing. Mahomes had 59 yards passing. Chase alone had 266. Burrow had over 400 yards. And you know what the Chiefs quarterback Mahomes said to Chase after the game? This is a quote. Hey, keep going because we'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, baby. Here we are. So I'm looking at this Cincinnati team after Gabe Davis went crazy on Kansas City's defense. Why can't the Cincinnati receivers do the same thing? I think that Burrow's psyched for this. The KC defense is going to put pressure on it, but he could throw for 350 in this one. And Cincinnati's obviously figured something out on defense. I just like those 7 points, man. Even it comes down to a field goal. 7 points you're going to give me? I'm taking it. Cincinnati plus 7.
Hey, I like the pick, G, and I love the support for the Bengals here. So, and
grab it now before it goes to 6.5.
I know.
Grab it now.
Well, you know what? Go ahead. I think you're about to say the same thing I am. Let's go to the dog lock because I'm going to piggyback right off you. I'm taking the Bengals to win this thing. He's my dog lock plus 7 versus the Chiefs. Like you said, everything you said, Bengals already won this thing. And people are like, oh, yeah, but that was when Patrick Mahomes was in his slump. No, that was the second to last regular season game. That was in the month of January that this game happened. Yeah. Okay, let's not forget the Bengals just beat these guys 4 games ago, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. These Bengals can do it. They've done it once. Joe Burrow is looking like a man possessed, and I love it. Let's go Bengals +7 dog lock of the week.
We both like the dog lock. We both like Cincinnati. G-Man picked 10 of the last 13 dog locks correctly, and 10 of them actually won the game. T-Money's picked 5 straight dog locks, winners. Man, this seems like a lock-up, man. We got to get that one right. Hey, I'm going to tell you my dog lock, okay? I'm going to give you a little scenario. I'm going to tell you, let's say there were 2 teams that faced off, Team A and Team B. And Team A already beat Team B 6 straight times, including 2 times this year. And Team A's quarterback outperformed Team B's quarterback, throwing 75% completion rate, and is one of the most winning quarterbacks in NFL playoff history. If I was to tell you after hearing that, T-Money, that Team B was favored in the next game, would you say, wait a minute, man? Well, that Team A is the 49ers. The 49ers defense ranks number 1 in the NFL in sacks and pressures. They're going to put pressure on my team, man. I love both of these teams, man, and I love the Rams. But, man, I got to give my head and my bet to our fans. You know, the 49ers, if they beat the Rams this weekend, they'll be in the Super Bowl for the 2nd time in 3 years. I'm going with those 3.5 points. I think the San Fran can win it, but even if they don't, when it comes down to a field goal, grab the 3.5 now.
Yeah.
With the 49ers and take it home to the bank.
Whew. Man, I mean, everything about my head says go Niners. But my heart is like, you trust Jimmy G? That's all. I just don't know what to do. So
Jimmy G wins.
Kyle Shanahan wins. Kyle Shanahan wins. So we'll see.
They're a combination.
Let's see.
Kyle Shanahan's lost with other quarterbacks.
Well, let's see if G-Man trusts Jimmy G in his player prop of the week here.
Do you see the other guy in my picture?
Is he your player prop of the week? Because that's what I want to know. Let's try this player prop of the week here, G. Tell me what you got.
Last week, I told you Patrick Mahomes, go with them over 25 completions. The guy not only got 33 completions, but he got 45 fantasy points. Oh, my gosh. Woo. Patrick Mahomes went off. And you know who's going to go off this week? Joe Burrow, Joey B. Over, I don't even know what the prop will be because they're not out yet. But if it's 250 passing yards, is it 275? I don't think it's going to be 300. But he's going to throw for over 300. I think he's going to throw deep. Kansas City has already given up. Look at what they gave up to Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis. Burrow threw for 446 in Week 17 against Cincinnati. I'm going Burrow with the over on the yards here, man. I think he's going to find a way. And if he has to come from behind, he's going to be launching it.
Hey, I like it. I like it, man. He won't be coming from behind, though, but I'm excited.
I like that. Hey, we hope you're loving the new Big Bets football show. And as always, please be responsible. Only bet what you can afford to lose. The Big Bet football show is a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast and sponsored by our friends at Help Me Startup. Hey, today's Big Bets. Do you have a startup or a new company idea, something that's a big bet for you? Why not get help from the experts at Help Me Startup? Try the coaching advice and tools to help you get moving and on your way towards success. Learn more at helpmestartup.co. Hey, look for some of our other shows and clips where you play your podcast. Look for us at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And you can check out our new website. All the show info's out there. Father, Son, and Holy Sport.com. T-Money, good luck on your Sunday doubleheader bets, baby.
Hey, you too, man. Let's make some money. See you later. Great. Good show.
Yeah.
Now let's close this bad boy out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm G-Man. I got T-Money here with me, bringing you energy with the January 25th edition of the Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. T-Money, you got your DFS players for the weekend, man?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Probably going to have to do a captain's picks and all this because it's a small roster size, but it's going to be exciting.
Good point. A good point. Hey, y'all do us a favor. Press that like and subscribe. If you like the results we're giving you, we appreciate your support. And if you're interested in being a sponsor or a guest on our fantasy football segment, reach out to us. Let's go to our fantasy picks of the week. We're going to start with our first game, hot and cold. G-Man's going to give you hot players who you should start in your DFS matches. T-Money going to give you cold starters to stay away from because they're going to break your heart if you don't. T-Money picking at 61% accuracy on his cold picks this year, knocking them down. Hey, keep in mind we're recording our shows on Tuesdays, so some things can change. Let's go to the quarterback position to start. I'm going with my hot picks here. I'm going with Joe Burrow. I think Joe's going to have a big game. Right now, he's ranked as the second quarterback behind Mahomes. He's going for $6,600 on DraftKings. And I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's supposed to be over under 55. Burrow could be coming from behind. I just think you're going to get good value off of him at 6,600 versus Mahomes at 7,400. The other game could be more low scoring. So I'm going to say go with Joe Burrow for the hot quarterback.
All right. I like it. Hopefully you're right. Hopefully he's hot. My cold QB, though, pretty obvious here, the worst of the four quarterbacks left, and that's Jimmy G. Don't even touch him. Don't even think about playing him. They didn't score. He didn't pass. He didn't rush. The entire offense didn't score a touchdown this past weekend versus the Packers. This Rams front is legit. And when they've had success, it's all about the run game with them. So don't touch Jimmy G here. He's going for 5,400. I don't see the value even in that if he does play a decent game because he's going to throw 2 picks most likely. So don't touch Jimmy G.
Okay. That's probably a smart move, man. And you know what you're talking about. Let's go to running back. I like the value here on Elijah Mitchell. He had 17 carries for 53 yards against Green Bay. Also had 3 receptions for another 18 yards. He did not get a touchdown, but I think he could get one this week. He is the bell cow on that San Francisco running back core. He will not be splitting time like the Kansas City backs. And Joe Mixon's just too expensive. He's going for 6,800. Elijah Mitchell going for 5,900. I like the value there with Elijah Mitchell.
All right. I like it as well. I think he's going to run all over him. My cold.
Who are you going to root for down there at SoFi Stadium, man?
I have no clue. I don't even know what I'm doing. So my cold running back of the week, though, either Rams running back. I don't like either of these guys, especially to make a captain or, I like them as last play if you have space for it. But if you don't have to get either of these guys, I wouldn't. Michelle going for 4,600, Akers 5,400. This is going to be on Matt Stafford's shoulders. The 2 previous Rams-Niners games, the Rams had a total of 52 and 46 rushing yards. So do not expect these guys to be able to run the ball on this San Francisco defense. So it's going to be Matt. And hey, they might get a few dump offs and, maybe a screen or 2, but I would not rely on these guys to be big point getters for your DFS team this week.
That's probably true. Let's go to wide receiver. I'm going with the hot wide receiver. You saw him in action, man. Tyreek Hill, you saw what he can do. I like Chase, but I think they're going to do everything they can to stop Chase. So I think it may spread across all 3 Cincinnati receivers. Cooper Kupp could face the same thing against San Fran. So for that reason, I'm going with a guy that's going to catch the ball short, get the the yards after catch. Tyreek Hill going for $7,000. He's behind Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp in value. So I think, Tyreek Hill at $7,000. Okay, I'll spend the money. I think he's going to get some points.
All right. We'll see. Hopefully not too many. My cold wide receiver of the week, though, OBJ going for 5,100, one of the top receivers out there. He's had 2 solid playoff games, especially big one in the first round, but he only caught 2 catches each game and no touchdowns versus the Niners this year. So I think Kupp's going to see all these targets, maybe some dump offs to the running back. You're going to see a lot of Van Jefferson. Stafford's really going to have to play well and spread this ball around. OBJ just hasn't played well versus the Niners, and I just think he doesn't have a big game here versus this San Francisco defense. So OBJ, my cold wide receiver of the week.
Okay. Hey, lot going on here, man. A lot of things tangled together in
I
all
know.
of our picks. We're going to see what goes down. Let's go to our second game. Take a mistake. Take a mistake will hopefully help you get ready for next season, all of y'all, you fantasy managers out there. We continue to focus this game on next year's draft, the 2022 fantasy draft. I pick a player that had a big year. T-Money tells me whether we should take the bait in our fantasy draft or if this past year was a mistake. And it's a surprise. He doesn't know who I'm bringing up. I'm going to start off at quarterback with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson did not play this year, but the prior year he was the top 5 fantasy quarterback. He can end up in Carolina, is the word on the street, or potentially wherever Brian Flores goes. Brian Flores was the guy behind Watson's rumor to come to Miami, but Flores is now gone. Deshaun could follow him. Could he end up in top form again? T-Money. If your fantasy draft was today, knowing what you know, is Deshaun a take as your QB1, or would that be a mistake?
That's a mistake. You can't risk your QB1 without knowing if he's going to play. Now, you could take a high flyer on him as your QB2 and stash him, but hopefully we find out before the season. I think his court case is in February or something, and it should be figured out by the time we get to draft season. But my gosh, if I'm drafting today, I'm not touching him because I need a solid starter as my quarterback.
What about dynasty? If you're in a dynasty league, would you do it then?
If I could keep a second quarterback, yes, I would. I would love to stash him.
Okay, good. Hey, let's go to, I must do wide receiver first. I got a special running back selection for you. Let's go to wide receiver. I'm going to throw out there Gabe Davis from Buffalo. Gabe Davis was behind Emmanuel Sanders on the depth chart most of the year. In 6 contests where Davis played at least 50% of the snaps, he averaged 59 yards a game and 4 touchdowns. However, in the playoffs, he had 41 yards in a score in the wild card round and 201 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Is Gabe Davis a must-have player in the 2022 fantasy draft? T-Money. Is Gabe Davis a take as your wide receiver 1 in next year's draft, or would that be a mistake?
Well, wide receiver 1 or 2. That's a no. That's a mistake. I mean,
okay.
He's not even a 1. He's not even close to a 1. He's not even Stephon Diggs let's pump the brakes on saying what should have said wide receiver 2. You might have gotten my juices flowing.
No, I wanted to say 1 just to see what you would say.
Yeah, hell no. Is he a wide receiver 1? That's not even close. So wide receiver 2, interesting. Yeah, top 24 seems like a stretch. So he could be a flex player for you, but if wide receiver 1, you should never play fantasy football again. If you select Gabe Davis as your wide receiver 1, just stop playing. Wide receiver 2, you hopefully you selected 5 running backs before that, and all the wide receivers are gone if he's your wide receiver 2. So flex option.
You love this take or mistake game, man. Hey, let's go to the last one. This is going to be a fun one for you, T-Money. Put a little pressure on you. See if you can handle this little curveball I'm going to throw at you here. I'm going to say for the running back, J.K., Elijah Mitchell, or Cam Akers. J.K. Dobbins was primed for a big year in 2021 before the ACL injury ends his season. However, he's going to come back, and a lot of runners do, from an ACL tear, and he should be fine. Elijah Mitchell is getting some valuable playoff experience. He's still alive in the playoffs. He had 17 carries for 53 yards in the divisional round game. Cam Akers is back after the Achilles injury and has taken over the reins in the Rams backfield, and he's still playing. He had 24 carries for 48 yards against Tampa Bay. T-Money, here's my question for you. Which one of these running backs is a take as your RB1 next year in the NFL fantasy draft, and which one of the 3 would be a mistake?
My take is Cam Akers because he's already shown in 2 playoff games that he is the RB1. He's overtaken Michelle. Not only that, Sony Michel's a free agent next year, and Sean McVay is known for having 1 running back. He doesn't do committees. That's not his style. So
he does
Cam
committees
Akers
all the time. He does committees.
Well, when you don't have your RB1 like Akers or Gurley, then yes, you go to committee. But I think with Akers, he will stick with him as his all-around back. He was supposed to be the RB1 going into the season before he got hurt. I'll take Cam Akers. And then as my mistake, I think Elijah Mitchell will be a mistake as an RB1 going forward. That will be too much of a reach. He has big games. He has solid games. But If anyone loves running back by committee, that is Kyle Shanahan. And that is such a deep room. It seems they can throw anyone in there and they can be successful because Elijah Mitchell was on the practice squad to start the season. I just think that's a risky RB1. If he's still in SF and, there's not a lot of competition, he could be an RB2. But that's a mistake.
All right, man. I don't care what T-Money says, man. You see, I'm with you, 49ers. I'm with you, man. I think you can do it this weekend. I love you, Rams. I love you, Rams. But, hey, man, I love the 49ers, too. Hey, the Fantasy Football Show's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport weekly podcast. We hope you had fun. Look for us. All of our segments and clips are out there where you play your podcast. And you can check out our website, FatherSonAndHolySport.com. You can even buy merchandise, baby. In the future, you'll get a hat like this with Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Hey, T-Money, good luck in your DraftKings DFS tournament this weekend and enjoy the game at SoFi Stadium, baby.
All right, man. Oh, got the Bengals playing in one game. I'm watching the other one. It's going to be a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon, G.